Hi, everyone. Welcome to the PoliticAL update with me, Alexandra Acker-Lyons. I pay attention to the political news so you don't have to. This is the advice I give my millionaire clients, and you get it for free. It is Saturday, July 25th, recording a day late here because I was a day late getting home. I missed my flight in Maine, which has never happened to me of my own accord before, and missing a flight in a tiny little airport set my day into a bit of a tizzy, and so got home a full day later, but made it and had a wonderful time in Maine. And my dogs were very happy to see me, as was my husband. My son was with me. Yeah, it's good to be home, although it's like 95 degrees here in Denver. I don't need that. Okay, candidate news. Jumping right in. Earlier today, Troy Jackson officially became our new nominee in the Maine Senate race. Maybe wait to give to that race. Just there's there's some stuff floating around out there that's not great. So I'm encouraging my clients to just give it a beat, and we will see what happens in the next few weeks. This is a must-win race. It's very complicated. Um, and a couple of weeks won't make that big a difference, even though it's almost August, and I can't believe I'm saying that. More to come. Arizona primaries happened this week. No big surprise. Andy Biggs won the Republican primary for governor. He won with a pretty astounding margin, though, over moderate David Schweikert. This is good news for Katie Hobbs, who that race has already been moved to lean Democrat, but now knowing that she's running against this ultra MAGA congressman with a really bad voting record that we can point to is great news for her. Also, an election denier won the Republican primary for Secretary of State, which is not great. So we absolutely have to win that race again, along with Attorney General, and hopefully flip both chambers there. Had a little bit of an unexpected surprise with Amish Shah winning the Democratic primary in Arizona 1. Joanne Mendoza easily won in Arizona 6, didn't really have a primary. These are two races that, we need to win if we want to take back the House. So watching them closely. The DCCC does not have an awesome record this cycle in terms of playing in primaries. This Arizona one was one of them where they backed a different candidate, as did I. But we'll see. Now's when we come together. And then obviously keeping a very close eye on Michigan coming up on August 4th. Yesterday, Gretchen Whitmer endorsed Haley Stevens in that Senate race. Haley's kind of gotten her mojo, and has embraced who she is, which is great. She's a dorky Michigander, be that. I'm very excited for this primary to be over. In other political news, we have Q2 fundraising numbers. Tallarico, Ossoff, Sherrod Brown, Mary Peltola, just crushed fundraising. Which is great, with this more recent Supreme Court decision giving party committees the ability to spend in unlimited ways with candidates. This is in coordinated ways. Really important that our candidates continue to raise a lot of money. Our House candidates in places like Arizona, Iowa, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, in must-win races outraised, in many cases, the Republican incumbent. Outraised the Republican, which is also great news. Some really safe Democrats have a lot of money. So, Ro Khanna and AOC are gearing up for presidential races, or maybe Senate in AOC's case. But Jamie Raskin, Josh Gottheimer, and Eugene Vinman have a lot of money and are in safe seats, and I hope that they will share the love. I know Jamie in particular helps raise for a lot of other candidates, so good for him. And then Iran, just sigh. Um, Different week, same mess, just it's so bad, and these people are so incompetent. And I heard someone say that it's like the video game war, and that really resonated with me. Where Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and everybody, they just like push a button, blow something up, and they think they're doing something. It's just really bad. 2028 has begun. In perhaps the most important meeting in all 4 years of a presidential cycle, the DNC this past week set the primary calendar, kept South Carolina as first, which is really interesting. I'll come back to that. That'll be January 22nd. And then in pretty quick succession, which I think is smart, we do Nevada, February 1st, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Michigan, Virginia. By law, New Hampshire has to be first, so we're not exactly sure what will happen there. They have sometimes done a primary. The delegates haven't counted towards delegate allotment. Sometimes they do a party primary, and then do the official primary with the Republicans later. It's messy. And I get wanting to have a southern state go first, especially in this moment, and highlighting, what has happened with the gutting of the Voting Rights Act and gerrymandering and the importance of Black voters in the Democratic coalition. South Carolina is not the state I would pick. I get that it is smaller, and that means that it allows candidates without as much money and name ID to kind of build that base, right? That's kind of the point of having a smaller state first. But to have a state that is not competitive in the general election go first seems to be a misallocation of resources. I'm not going to say a waste, because I think it's really important to organize everywhere, including in South Carolina. But if we did this in North Carolina or Georgia, we would be building support that we could then draw on for the general election. So we'll see how it goes. I think the fact that all of these primaries are happening really close together. So it's South Carolina first on January 22nd, Virginia, which is a new state added last February 29th, before the Super Tuesday window in March, shows the diversity of our country and our party. But there might be some unintended consequences here. Nonetheless, we do not have to spend New Year's in Des Moines, which I had a lot of fun spending New Year's in Des Moines in my 20s, but don't need to do that now. So instead, we get to go to lovely places like Charleston. And my shout out of the week goes to National Park employees. I was in Acadia this week in Maine, did one of the hardest hikes of my life. And my husband and son are currently camping in Rocky Mountain National Park. And, these budgets were slashed with Doge, and these employees, many of whom are seasonal employees year after year after year, are doing a great job and doing what they can. And they're so nice and knowledgeable. So go visit a national park and, thank your tax dollars, the ones that are still there. Thanks. Have a great week. Bye.